Hi Kairos leaders! Today we're going to be talking about how to make your own flower press. Now flower presses can look like a lot of different things. I have this flower press here where I unscrew these and it's layers of cardboard, and in between the layers of cardboard there are flowers. Some of these flowers I put in just a few days ago. Some of these flowers have actually been in here for years, and I like to go through at various points and use them for arts and crafts projects, which I'll talk about later in this video. So when I unscrew this, I can take off my lid, and I have these layers of cardboard with flowers. Now, although this is a nice flower press to have, I found this one at a Goodwill a while back. It's much easier and simpler to make a flower press with a book. So, I picked a nasturtium flower from my garden. I love nasturtiums because they're edible, they're delicious, and they have the most beautiful color. I picked myself a heavy book. This is one of my favorite books, The Inventions of Hugo Cabaret. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this book, pick a random page. Ooh, the ghost in the station. Bum, bum, bum. Then I'm going to lay down a paper towel or a piece of toilet paper over my book. Take my flower, and this is the hard part, because however the book closes on your flower is how it's going to be pressed. So I like to kind of open it up a little bit so that when the flower is pressed, I can really see everything. So I'm going to open my flower up a little bit, carefully fold the pages over, close my book, and now I'm going to find a place in my house where I can put this book, maybe with other books on top of it, so that it stays closed. I'm going to keep my book closed for a little while, and then it can be anywhere from 3 days to a week to a month later. I'll check on my flower, and once I've checked on my flower, I can use it for an art project. That's step number 1. Good work. Find a flower, put it in a book. For the second half of this activity, you will need a piece of paper. You can also use a paper bag. You can use a cardboard box. There are endless possibilities. You will need clear tape, scissors, optional, a pen or maybe some colored pencils. Also optional is string. Let's get started. Okay, now it's time to make some art with your pressed flowers. Now, I'm using a couple of flowers that I pressed last summer. These are both wild flowers that I got in Wyoming. I'm going to take a piece of paper, and I am going to make a bookmark. So I'm going to cut my piece of paper to whatever size I want my bookmark to be. That's totally dependent on your preferences. Usually I like to be a skinny strip and a little bit shorter than a regular size piece of paper. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flower, I'm going to lay it on my bookmark wherever I want it. If you want, now you can take some pencils or some pens and color it in a little bit and make some extra art. So I used a pen to decorate around my flower, kind of like I was in the desert where I found this flower. I drew some stars and the moon and some hills. There's a little river back there. Now here's the tricky part. Line your flower up just where you want it and get some clear tape. I like to use packaging tape. Pull out the right length and slice it. Make sure that whatever you cut is a little bit more than what you'll need. And then what you do is you lay your packaging tape on top of your bookmark. Press it all down flat. You have two options. If you want to leave the back blank, then you can just put another piece of packaging tape on it. I think I'm going to put another flower on it though. Okay, so I've laid down my flowers where I want them, and I've done a little simple decoration. Now I'm going to do the same thing. You can use anything else that you want for this. You can decorate with string. You can use glitter. You can even use some spices to give it some fun colors. So I'm going to lay my packaging tape down. Now that I have packaging tape on both sides and I've pressed it really well, I'm going to take my scissors and cut around the outside to cut off the edge of the packaging tape. Now there's one final step. What you're going to want to do is make a slit, a little hole in the top. So there are a couple ways that you can do this. One way is you can fold your paper over and then cut just a little bit at the top. So I just folded my paper over a little bit and then cut a tiny little triangle. That will make a little hole. Next, find some string that you like. Cut whatever length you want. Fold your string in half. You should end up with a loop. Put the loop through the hole. Now, you have a loop on one end. Take your string, the tail of your string, and pull it through your loop. If you want, you can put a bead on the end, you can tie it, you can braid it, but now I have a bookmark with a ribbon. Good work! I would love to see what creations you come up with, so please consider sending me a photo or posting a photo to this assignment of whatever you make with your dried flowers. Have fun!